Okay. So, yeah.
Which
So,
one are you talking about?
individualism, eccentricity versus conformism. In Japan, a tendency towards want to belong, fit into the group, trying to be kind of similar to the rest of the members, not to stand out. And that is a gap that we have with the European, where it's more focused on individualism, the individual hero, the person who stands up, tries to make a change, and eccentricity, just basically people who are different. The heroes in Western societies are the individuals.
What do you mean eccentricity?
Eccentricity means eccentric, means basically somebody who is very different from the rest.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So eccentricity is kind of appreciated in Western culture. People who are eccentric are interesting, or and they are not frowned upon. People who do not want to conform, they want to live their own life, they're accepted. Kids in schools in the Netherlands, for example, when they are different from the rest, they're not necessarily bullied or...
Differentiation?
So,
what differentiation means?
Differentiation means that it's not necessarily bad to be different. It's not necessarily...
Did you know that since 1970s, after American is more individualism rather than before? Before 1970s, they have uniformity, and they have some different, just try to move in as a group. But since 1970, after, more individual is going on.
Well, I think that is not so strange in a sense that actually...
For example, beforehand, they greeting for next door people. They had so often party in their home. But since then, they gradually...
That's everywhere. That's also in Europe.
So more individual.
That's also in Europe. Right.
So this is...
but it's also true that basically in the period before that, let's take, for example, Russia, completely different area, different country. But if you live somewhere in the countryside in Russia, you really need to be part of your society. Mm-hmm. You cannot survive without the society. The situation is too harsh. It's too cold. It's too dangerous. It's too uninhabited to actually say, okay, I will become a hermit. But in modern society, we are surrounded with all the luxury of the convenience stores. And you can easily go without contact, without your neighbors, and you can easily survive. You don't need the people around you anymore. So that leads to individualism. I think that that trend is kind of also fed by the society that is changing. That is more and more catering to the needs of the individual. It's more and more a comfortable society that allows its members to change. So I think that the society itself becomes a dynamo for this kind of
this kind of American kind of situation is I don't know how many, about 30% of people live in individual, not get married, single.
Right.
And suicide ratio is very high rather than car accident. And they are looking for some power, getting power to support them.
Right. But there is also in the United States, inside of the humans, there is this belief that they can become a success if they put their mind to it, and the country will allow them to become from a paper boy to a newspaper tycoon.
What do you mean newspaper tycoon?
So it's like from the guy who delivers the newspaper in the morning. If you work hard, if you are honest, and if you work hard and you put your mind to it, you can become successful. You can be anything you are, anything you want to be, right? The American dream.
Not anymore.
It's not anymore. People want that back. That's why they vote for Trump, because they believe he's like a guy who did it, who became successful. They forgot that actually his father was already very rich, and he was born with a golden spoon. But there is this belief that you can be successful by yourself. In Japan, I think a lot of people believe that they need to belong to a strong team. Otherwise, they cannot do it by themselves. There are not many people in Japan who believe that, okay, I can myself, with my own two hands, I can build up a business imperium. These people, they existed, but they existed, they built up their empires maybe at the first half of the last century, but not so many after that. There were not so many pioneers, people who really started business on their own and believed that they could make their dream come true and become a powerful multinational company. A lot of the young people in universities today, they are focused on joining a strong team, joining the right company and supporting to the company, contributing to the company, and hoping. I think that they are not secure enough, they don't feel confident enough that they can cut it on their own.
I think the reason background, I experienced I had a company, an outsourcing company before. But the problem is the Japanese company is very much sticking to the conservative, conservative attitude for everything. And what problem is, okay, small company is very difficult to manage in Japanese society. But even more than 90% is small company. But new small company, very difficult to start. And they are very negative for the new starter. So every people after graduate university, they want to join the company. And otherwise, they cannot get, if they're going to be independent, very difficult to survive. This is different from America. Maybe Europe is the same, right? Like Japan, right?
Not really. No, Europe is more similar to
America.
To America.
Okay. My case is I just one big company. I almost get the job, but finally his question was, what is your company status of the deficit of the or not? And I don't get profit, and then he didn't give me job. In Japan, very strange. New company, none of company got profit, right?
Right.
But they didn't give us job. So many cases they're very conservative for newcomer.
Right.
And very difficult to get the reliance. And they try to coordinate each other like a village type.
Right.
Company to company the same. So very strong network among those society.
It's very interesting that the world's biggest the investment fund is from Japan originally. At the moment, it's by far the biggest, and by far taking the biggest risks, I think, in terms of investment. Being very successful. This SoftBank, Son, making all the investments. He's betting all the money that he gets, mainly from Saudi Arabia, in singularity. His philosophy is that the world will reach singularity, and he's making his investments.
Oh, by the way, he got the money from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, a lot.
That's the reason he decided to make investment to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so basically, I think more than 70% of his money comes from Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Yeah.
Why he get a lot of money from Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia, they sit on a lot of money. They don't know what to do with it. So they want.
Son is success person. That's the reason why they relied on him.
Right.
Like Trump.
He has an amazing track record.
Yeah, it's the same as Trump chasing for the oligarchy of Russia.
Right.
Same.
Right.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's the reason why Mr. Son will go into Saudi Arabia for dealing business.
Right.
This time. Oh,
yeah, no,
okay.
I think he's got about 700 billion investment. 700 billion investment.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
700 billion.
But I really don't understand all of his investments, actually.
Yes, $700 billion?
US dollars.